What's up, YouTube? It's me, Joe Schmo, and I'm here for something a little different, and I feel like I keep saying that all the time, but I want to talk about the new live-action One Piece that's coming out. It's honestly gotten a lot of good reviews, and I've watched it all, and I fully agree on why it's good. So for this, we're just going to talk about Episode 1, because I don't want to spoil it, but for those who haven't watched it and want to hear about it, I'm going to dive into Episode 1, tell you how it differs, and go from there. But let's hop right into it. So Episode 1 follows the same thing. Luffy gets into the barrel, you know, because his ship was sinking. They actually show that part, that his ship was sinking, and then he ends up on Alvida's boat, meets Kobe. The immediate difference at that point, Alvida isn't super big. She's a thick woman, but she's actually looks pretty alright. And they immediately show her killing someone. That right there definitely diverges from One Piece. Because there's blood and stuff right off the bat, like blaring matter, like it's pretty graphic right off the bat. But you show Luffy getting up, we're like, oh, she's nothing, shows off Gum pistol, punches her right off the boat, teaches nothing, goes with Kobe. At the same time, you learn about Zoro, who was approached by Baroque Works, I forget how to pronounce it, but Crocodile's like assassins group like thing they set up. They introduced that the first episode. I didn't think they would even touch on it until they got like a second season. But they introduced that and shows Zoro killing number 7, to which we'll play later on in the episode. Then you meet Nami, who was stranded, and she basically took one of Buggy's boats from one of his peons, and they all floated. And then he ended up at Seashore Island, I can't remember the name of it, which is where you meet Captain Axe Hand Morgan, the main villain for this episode, essentially. You learn about how the island is kind of run like how he wants it, how he's the big baddie, and you basically follow everyone the way that it goes, but it shows them meeting up at different spots because Nami really wasn't here until Buggy's Island, if I remember correctly from the original source. So it shows Zoro getting into a bar fight, protecting the bartender's daughter, which is what he did, from Polipio, this guy here. Same source material, does all this. Instead of, you know, him actually being out there for a couple days, he's only out there for maybe like a couple hours. Luffy comes and saves him. Then he gets out free. He wanders off. Luffy ends up meeting Nami down in the records room, to which during the bar fight, Nami knocks out a Marine, takes their clothes, and sneaks in, trying to find the map to the Grand Line. This didn't happen during this time in the anime. From there, she gets caught by Luffy after she took care of 2 Marines. Then she escorts Luffy upstairs as a prisoner, quote unquote, to try and sneak by, to which they find out that the Grand Line map is in Captain Morgan's office. To which they try to break in. They find out there's intruders, the alarms go off. They end up taking the safe that has the Grand Line map down to the courtyard. Big fight ensues as Zoro's leaving to escape after he got his weapons. He ends up joining them because he feels bad. Ends up joining this big old fight. They all fight Captain Axe Morgan. Well, just really Luffy and Zoro. To which they double team, took him down. Not like the anime, to which Luffy took care of Axe Hand. That's beside the point. From there, they go off on a ship, and that's it. That's basically the first episode. So they combined maybe the first 4 or 5 episodes of the anime into it, to which you got to meet the first 3, Nami, Zoro, and Luffy, and then the second episode talks about Buggy, who looks like Ben Stiller to me, but that's beside the point. From there, there's a whole new storyline with Kobe being left behind. Garp shows up and goes and hunts Luffy down for breaking into this Marine base, also taking care of Axe Hand Morgan himself. Then it shows basically this whole separate sideline throughout this whole thing. It's like 2 parallel stories going on at the same time. Very good. I think from everyone, from Usopp to Sanji to Zoro, Nami, Luffy, I think this all-star cast is perfect. They play their roles very well. I don't see why there was a petition, which I found this out. There was a petition to get Sanji replaced in the next season if they ever do one, because the actor for Sanji was too, aggressive with the flirting like Sanji does in the show. People didn't like that, and so they made a petition and got to Oda. And Oda, what did Oda do? He laughed, ripped it up, and called it a day, because the guy did what he wanted. Oda said he played Sanji perfectly. I don't see the problem, but apparently people complain about it. I don't see the problem. They did everything fine. I mean, yeah, Didn't include some characters throughout the whole 8, 10, what was it, 8 or 9 episodes, I believe. They didn't include them, but if you recall me talking about this when the leak came out, about the episodes, they did one thing that I'm very happy that led to greatness. They were hour-long episodes. Because of that, they were able to showcase this world they built through CGI and through physical means. They showed how ruthless this world is by getting that extra time. They were able to actually build and show One Piece. I think this is going to be a good way for people to actually get into One Piece. I know for a fact that my coworkers started watching it. They told me over the weekend they love it because they saw it recommended. They're like, hey, do you know anything about this? And I was like, yeah, this is the show you see me watch from time to time up in the office. They love it. There's people that never would have given the like anime the time of day. They're giving this the time of day. It's opening the world to everyone, and I think this is fantastic. So overall, I really think they did well. Live action One Piece did a fantastic job, and I'm so happy that they did it, and I'm glad Netflix did it. And I'm agreed with Oda. They did perfectly fine, and it's a slightly different story. It's altered, and I like it. It's a fresh breath of fresh air. It's great. Great. Give it a try. That's my feelings on it. Let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.